GM sealing a $500 million deal to sell its Saab division. The Dutch sports car maker Spyker is going to pay $400 million in cash and stock. All of this according to people we've been talking to and are familiar with the matter. General Motors also be keeping something like $100 million of Saab's existing liquidity for itself. Sweden is providing loan guarantees. Let's discuss this, and to do that, we're going to be joined by Mike Tyndall from Nomura. Mike, does this make sense, this deal?
I've got to be honest with you, I'm quite confused by it. A car maker that makes less than 100 cars a year has bought a car maker that makes 100,000 cars a year, and neither of them will have the scale to be competitive in the markets they want to be in. So I realize, you know, we're talking about people's livelihoods here, but I just don't see how it makes sense going forward.
Yeah, Mike, we had Sergio Marchionne making exactly that point, the chief executive of Fiat. He says you can't make money if you're a pure niche player. Does this company then have to ramp itself up and try and become more mass market? And if so, where do they get the money to do that?
I think if you look at the Saab brand, it's what I would describe as a quasi-premium brand. It's not quite up there with Mercedes and BMW. I think trying to grow that into a much bigger car maker is going to be extraordinarily difficult and expensive. I mean, the game plan, I would assume, is to continue down the premium strategy, if you like. But I mean, I also wonder there whether or not they've got enough money to compete.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key here, especially in these times too. So, you know, you don't think this is a great fit here, but what about Spyker when it becomes the owner of Saab, that it looks to be bought by somebody else? Is that the only way it's going to work?
I think that's probably where the underlying strategy sits. I mean, Saab is on the verge of launching a new 9.5. It's not too far away from launching or revamping some of its other models. So if you like, they're on the cusp of what will be a good product wave for them. So perhaps the idea here is to, you know, keep them going until those products are in the market and see if they can't find a buyer further down the track.
Mike, isn't it just the case, the fundamental point about the automotive business is there are just too many car makers?
That's been a problem for a long time. The thing is that they don't seem to want to go away. I mean, what we saw in 2009 in Europe was, I guess, a unique opportunity for the industry to address some of the capacity issues, but they're too politically sensitive. We've seen in France, we've seen in Germany, governments are all too willing to help out so that that car makers continue to go on with what is too much capacity.
Mike, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Mike Tyndall there joining us out from Nomura.